In the retreat Dharma talks, we use painful feeling that arises during the meditation from the body source as a focal point to explain what is needed. And also, most of the yogis definitely had experienced this, so everyone can relate to it. Feeling, Vedana, arises due to contact of the body tangible object, due to contact of the body tangible object, body sensitivity, and body consciousness. They arises because these three come together as a union. And from now on, I'm going to refer these three as the three elements. From now on, I'm going to refer these three as the three elements. Pain, specifically, arises due to imbalance of fire element, wind element, and earth element. And these elements manifest as excess heat, excess cold, excess in stiffness, tension, numbness, hardness, or shooting spasm. These are the manifestation of these three elements. And we perceived these manifestations as pain because we are ignorant of their true nature. The union of these three elements representing as one is always taken as a self or me. There are three. When they combine, it seems like one. And when we take it as one, mental contact, phassa, at that moment, we view everything, we take everything as a self or I. That's why we say, I am in pain, I'm suffering, I'm happy. Identify with that self or me. That's how physical and mental phenomenon becomes self, soul, a person, an individual, or a being. That mental contact when we take as just simple one, then it becomes self or I. However, if one can differentiate through meditation, oh, this is tangible object. Oh, this is body sensitivity. Oh, this is body consciousness. If you can differentiate like that with meditation, then one began to understand experientially what we believe to be self, soul or me is nothing but physical and mental phenomena always arising out of conditions. So if this condition of the union of the three elements is fragmented, mental contact is eradicated. That phassa is union of three. If we can fragment it, make it one at a time, see one at a time, know one at a time, at that moment you eradicate the mental contact phassa. Without contact, there is no pain from body source. By eradicating the cause, which is mental contact, the final effect, suffering, is erased or eradicated. Now, to destroy mental contact, we need to find its cause. Whether the cause is the real causes that make mental contact arise. The causes are body sensitivity and body consciousness. We use the word body because we are discussing based on the body pain. That's why the word body comes in. If we are focusing on seeing, we'll be using the eye. And if that's the case, we will call it eye sensitivity and eye consciousness. So these are based on the door. Both objects are internal basis. This body sensitivity is in the body and body consciousness is in the body. They are internal base. So one can experience in the body. As they are in the body, you can experience in the body. Excessive fire element in the body will give unbearable heat and produce pain. And that comes from the physical source. If you remember, in Pali what is called Kayika Dukkha Vedana. Kayika is body source. Dukkha, suffering, Vedana, feeling. Feeling of suffering from the body source. So now we know what causes this body contact. That is sensitivity, body sensitivity and body consciousness. In general, sensitivity and consciousness. Suppose, let's say there's no body sensitivity. I'll put in another word for body sensitivity so that we can see it quite clear. Receptor or antenna. Body sensitivity or receptor. because they receive all information, all objects. That's at the spot, at the location where the body sensitivity is. Without receptor, there is no unbearable pain. When excessive heat from the external source strike the body, the heat, if there's outside, it will still strike the body. But if there is no receptor, no body sensitivity, you won't get that burning pain. Without pain, there is no body consciousness. Because body consciousness is the one that knows the pain. If there is no pain, how could the consciousness know the pain? Without pain, there is no body consciousness which knows the pain. And if there is no pain, no suffering. Everything is a chain of cause and effect, cause and effect. In practice, in meditation, when there is pain of excessive heat, pain arising from excessive heat, if there is excessive heat, one must observe diligently and courageously. That's a job, that's an instruction what to do under that kind of situation. Simple word is, if there is pain, don't turn away. Observe, straight on, with effort, with diligence, with courage. And if that's the case, one will come to know heat as heat. If you stare at that pain from the excessive heat, you will come to know heat as simply heat. And also location as location. I'm throwing different words so that you can understand. Sensitivity is a sensitive spot. In other words, it's a location. Location as location, or sensitivity as sensitivity, or receptor as receptor, because that sensitivity received information. That sensitivity is at a location, at a spot. So, if you're observing diligently and courageously, you will come to know heat as heat, location as location, in other words, body sensitivity as body sensitivity. And when the mind becomes quite concentrated, one can differentiate the separateness of the excessive heat and its receptor. The key thing is you have to build up your concentration. If the concentration becomes stronger, that's what happens. Heat is one thing, receptor is another thing, and they are entirely separate. Two different departments, hand and glove, working together, doing their own jobs, performing their own functions. which means you have separated between the two, the location and the heat. And then, of course, you keep meditating. If you keep meditating and if your focus is very strong, concentration will increase. When the concentration increased, suddenly you'll find that receptor disappear from your field of attention or field of awareness. To put it simply, let's say the pain is at the knee. That is the sensitive spot in the body. That is the receptor. That is the location, the knee. You're observing the pain in the knee, and then concentration arises, you know. Heat is one thing, knee is another thing. And you keep on meditating, and suddenly your awareness of the knee disappear. Awareness of the key disappear. To give a general example, some of you meditators might have been meditating and suddenly you felt like there's no body. Your awareness of the body disappear. Just like that, in this case, the awareness of the knee disappear. In other words, there's no more knee, no more receptor, no more sensitive spot, location. That awareness is gone. The knee is gone. That's what happened with the increase in intensity of concentration, mental concentration. And of course, what's left? What is left is simply pure heat. Before you are aware of the heat and the knee. Now the knee is gone. You are only aware of the pure heat. It might be quite hot. But the funny thing is, it is not the unbearable pain, simply heat. At the beginning you started with the unbearable pain at the knee. The knee is gone. Unbearable pain, the feeling, the perception of unbearable things gone, and you only know pure heat. What hot? You just know it is hot. We always use the example of fire element, heat with the pain. But some yogis, they experience differently. What they experience is you are observing the pain, concentration so strong. At one moment, the pain disappears, and all you feel is the vibration, vibrating at very high speed, because your concentration is very strong. And as soon as concentration decreases, that vibration disappears and the pain comes back. So here, concentration is a key factor. But the pain is due to excessive heat, or the pain is due to excessive speed of the vibration. So you may experience heat, you may experience vibration without any pain. Knowing only heat as heat, vibration as vibration, is knowing the true nature of fire element and wind element. Now you really know the true nature of fire element, the true nature of wind element, without anything attached. You know as it is. When body sensitivity disappears, example, the knee, when it disappears from your field of attention, the connection between the body sensitivity and the heat is severed. If you have no awareness of the knee, how can you say there is a connection between heat and knee? At that moment, in your awareness, there's no connection because there's no knee, no sensitivity. That means the connection of the two is severed. But if you pull back and see, the knee is always there, but only in your mind at that time, because concentration is so strong, the gross form of materiality, the knee, the gross forms are gone. Only the settled form, the heat, still remains. Knee is a rupa, heat is a rupa. Knee is a gross materiality. Heat is a fine, subtle materiality. Your concentration is so strong, you have no awareness, no use for the gross materiality. You only know the very fine, subtle materiality, heat. So as it is severed between the heat and the location, what's left? What's left is the heat, the subtle materiality, and the mind, nama, that knows the heat. Knows the heat, but without unbearable, painful feeling. Without unbearable, painful feeling. Simply heat. That's when you severed between the sensitivity and the subtle materiality. Of course, you are in meditation, so you keep on meditating. You proceed with observation of the heat. The heat is there, you keep observing. Heat, 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 the hot, hot, hot. Experience, direct experience of the heat. We're using words to communicate. And if you keep observing the heat, at one point, like all things else, that heat will pass away, because all things arises and passes away based on a certain set of conditions. If the conditions change, they change. If the condition change, that passed away, disappear. So at one point, if you keep observing, heat will also disappear, passed away. And if heat passes away, what happened to the mind? The mind that knows the heat. Consciousness. Consciousness is there because there's an object to know. The object is heat. When there's no object to know, the consciousness or the mind that know the heat's also gone, because they are conditional. Conditioned process. Based on the condition, it exists. Without the condition, it doesn't exist. It cannot exist. when the heat passes away, the mind that knows, the consciousness that knows the heat also passes away. Union of the three elements is now totally severed. Before, all exists. The need exists, the heat exists, and the mind exists. All together as one pasat, the union. You know the three as one. Now, with meditation, you eliminate one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, and that's how you breaking them up. You severed totally. And when the three elements are totally severed, there's no more suffering from this physical source. Very specific we are talking. We are talking about the pain at the knee. There's no more suffering from the body sensitivity. That's what you're experiencing in meditation, direct experience. So, in practice, in the meditation, we don't talk details like this. What we said is just one line. I or we have overcome the pain. We have overcome the pain. Pain no more. We have overcome the pain. That's what is in a practical sense. The other is explaining exactly how it takes place through cause and effect, cause and effect. Now the pain disappears. At the disappearance of the pain, which means that's a new condition, at that moment, pleasant feeling arise. Pleasant feeling or comfortable feeling arise. Automatically, in the practice, you know, there's a pain, you observe the pain, and suddenly, boom, the pain disappears, and suddenly a feeling of calmness and feeling great and comfortable sink in. That is a pleasant feeling. Pain's gone, pleasant feeling arises. And at that time, the yogi must be mindful or observe that pleasant feeling. Yeah? Buddha had instructed us to observe that pleasant feeling till we can see that it's not pleasant feeling but unpleasant feeling. Buddha said pleasant feelings are not really pleasant feeling, they are unpleasant feeling. Of course, it's difficult for us to accept on intellectual level, so you must observe. Your observation, your mindfulness will reveal that to you. This is where the suffering upon change comes in. Suffering upon change. If you observe pleasant feeling carefully, attentively, you will see the intensity of the pleasant feeling is not constant. It's always changing. Increase, decrease, increase, decrease, increase, decrease. Increase great. As soon as you decrease, you are not too happy. And sometimes, if your effort really wanes, pleasant feeling disappear and the painful feeling arise again. Oh, at that time, you had it. So, this changes in intensity of pleasant feeling, or even changing back and forth between pleasant and unpleasant feeling. These are the changes. And whenever these changes are happening, you feel satisfied, you feel dissatisfied, you feel happy, you feel angry. So, satisfaction or dissatisfaction will arise along with these changes. And at that time, you begin to understand that comfortable feeling, sukha, comfortable, pleasant feeling, sukha, actually is suffering, dukkha in disguise. Dukkha, suffering disguising as a comfortable feeling. But when you really probe into it, observe it, mindful of it, you see its changes, instability, and then you know, no, this is dukkha in disguise. Sukha is dukkha in disguise. From your direct experience, you understand, and that is suffering upon change. Viparinama dukkha. We have the first type of dukkha is dukkha dukkha, suffering upon suffering. The second type of dukkha is suffering upon change, viparinama dukkha. And we are experiencing directly in meditation. The yogi who is practicing must incline the mind when observing these pleasant feelings, that all things are constantly changing or passing away. In Pali it's called sankhara. Everything is changing and passing away. Keep in mind, incline your mind, and you'll be also experiencing it. By inclining the mind with that statement, you're connecting theory and practice. These pleasant feelings arises due to the union of body, tangible object. Body, tangible object. Basically tangible object, but it is from your inside the body, so body, tangible object. Okay? Yeah, just to mention a few what body, tangible object is. It's like calmness in your body, calmness, lightness, comfort, subtle vibration, superbly soft, extremely soft feeling, melting away of all the coarse and rough sensation. Those are the body tangible objects. In other words, is the wind element. Vibration. It vibrates at a certain wavelength. It gives you very enjoyable feeling. It has to be a certain wavelength. And the mind, the concentrated mind, set it. So, This pleasant feeling arises due to this body tangible object and body sensitivity or receptor and body consciousness that knows the mental contact, phassa, which means all three together and suddenly know as one, phassa, mental contact, union of the three, not separate, all as one, seamlessly. This is pleasant feeling, but pleasant feeling is no different from unpleasant. These pleasant feeling, enjoyable sensation give rise to the concept, belief in a self, soul, or me. How does it give rise? Oh, I feel good. I feel great. Hope it doesn't disappear. Hope it doesn't go away. These kind of things are everything pointing to the self, soul, being, or me. You don't have to think about it, but that's what it is. I feel good. I feel great. Self, me. When phassa, mental contact, union of the three present as one as phassa, mental contact, automatically the concept of or the belief of self is there. The belief of soul is there. The belief of me is there. Now, we have overcome the unpleasant feeling. We have overcome the pleasant feeling. So after overcoming both pleasant and unpleasant feeling, the yogi will experience the neutral feeling. There are three kinds of feeling: pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral. So neutral feeling is, in a way you can put it, neither pleasant nor unpleasant feeling. Asukha, adukkha. Neither pleasant or unpleasant feeling. That is a neutral feeling. And this neutral feeling is very subtle, not evident, not noticeable to observe. That's why we call it neutral. It is there, but you don't see it. It is there, you can't feel it. It is very difficult to observe. So as it is difficult to observe, how do we start? First and foremost, simply just that neutral feeling. You just labeled it because we are doing the labeling work. Calm. Calm means there's no rocking, no up and down, no highs and lows. Tranquil, quiet. So you can notice calm, calm, or tranquil, tranquil, that neutral feeling. But it is difficult to pinpoint. Buddha instructed us, when noting neutral feeling, we must keep our mind on the fact that all things are impermanent. All things are impermanent. You must keep in mind at that time when you are noting neutral feeling. Okay? Let's approach this from the practical side. There's a feeling is neutral, but you have rise in rank for quite some time. You overcome unpleasant feeling, you overcome pleasant feeling, which means your concentration is pretty strong, which means your mindfulness is very powerful. Because of that, while you are staying calm or tranquil, you are accurately seeing, facing, knowing all the objects arise. Not this or not that, not rising or not falling, not lifting, pushing, dropping. Anything, whatever object arises, anything of any nature, you are aware of it. You don't miss it. The only thing is, even though you are aware, you are interfacing with these objects, whether good or bad, whether repulsive or desirable. You do not feel aversion towards it. You do not feel desire, wanting towards it. That's a neutral feeling. When you have neutral feeling, you don't hate and you don't love. So you can watch these objects one after the other, like as if it is water flowing in the stream. Objects come, object go, object comes, object go, but it is like a water continuously flowing. Continuously flowing. The only thing is you have neither pleasant or unpleasant feeling towards these objects. You remember what Buddha instructed us? We must keep in mind all things are impermanent. In a way, what Buddha is telling us, and of course we know because our elders, our teachers has explained to us what to do. We must put double effort, triple effort, more effort to see these each object arising and passing away like a water flowing in a stream. Water flowing in a stream is like continuous, it is endless. You don't see the separation, but you do know these are little droplets, one after the other. Just like that, you are aware of all these objects coming and going, but it's like a flow. And in here, you must put a lot of effort to see the arising and passing away of each object. Arising and passing away of each object. And if you don't see, especially the passing away, the ending of each object, you are just seeing a continuous one seamless flow. But when you see these, each object passing away with a concerted effort, it becomes different. You must see the passing away of all these neutral feeling objects. Object itself are not neutral. Object has a likable quality, unlikable quality, but your feeling towards thee is without aversion and without desire. That's neutral feeling. And if you don't see the passing away of the object, you will see the objects like a flow of water. But there's a danger. In your intellectual mind, you see still believe that you are seeing the impermanence of all objects. I see everyone, they come and go, they come and go, they come and go. And you believe you have witnessed impermanence, you have witnessed anicca. But in reality, no. You must practice in such a way you see the passing away of the objects. And when you see the passing away of the objects with clarity, not obscurely, not vaguely, at that moment you see the impermanence. Only then you have experienced anicca. Only then you'll be able to comprehend the neutral feeling is also impermanent, anicca. We are the beings of feelings, not like emotional feelings. Here's very specific. All the time we are feeling pleasant or unpleasant or neutral. There's not a nanosecond without these feelings. Now we see all these three kinds of feelings are simply impermanence, anicca, passing away. Now we truly understand the concept of anicca, impermanence, in our being, what we call self or soul, me. So, firm meditation, very strong and firm meditation, with the strong and firm mindfulness, coupled with powerful concentration, will separate the union of the three elements. And along with it, you will overcome three types of feelings and understand all feelings are impermanence. May all of you be able to practice mindfulness insight meditation and reach the path where you can sever these three elements and see all feelings are impermanent as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.